Welcome to this week's Full Steam Ahead, a program combining fun projects and learning about science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. As always, I am your host and resident youth services librarian, Eric Mahalitz, and in this week's class, we are going to be talking about thrust and Newton's third law of motion. And to exemplify those concepts, we are going to be building and conducting balloon races. Start your engines. So, what is thrust? Thrust is a force or a push. When a system pushes or accelerates mass in one direction, there is a thrust or a force just as large in the opposite direction. This idea is echoed in Newton's third law of motion, which states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Thrust and Newton's third law of motion go a long way towards helping us understand bird flight and build rockets or jet engines. To see all of this in action, let's set up our balloon race. Okay, so we're all ready to set up our balloon race here. I've actually already set up my string. You can see this floating straw right here. There's actually a string that goes through that all the way from one side over here to the other. One thing I would say about that, and we're using, you can use fishing line or something similar to that for this. You just need a stronger string and something that can be held pretty taut, pretty tight, and you want it to be much smaller than the diameter of your straw. So you have very little resistance. You don't want your straw to catch on a very thick string or rope. And then we have, so our string, we have our straw, we have a balloon, and you can use any number of sizes of balloon, shapes of balloon. So I have a few different ones. This one would make a very long, thin balloon. This is kind of a more traditional rounder balloon. We have something to tie our balloon off with so that it doesn't lose all of its air after we've blown it up. So I have a binder clip here. You can use a clothespin. Clothespin would work great. And a pair of scissors. And some tape. I have some painter's tape here. You can also use Scotch tape, which you might be more likely to have around the house. I probably wouldn't use clear tape. I think that might do some harm sticking to and coming off of your balloon over time. But let's see how this goes here. I'm going to blow up my balloon. Blow that up a little bit more. Okay. And I've got a little bit of slack on the end there, which is going to help me put my binder clip on. Oh, didn't have it on there in the right spot. I think a clothespin might actually be better for this. Okay, well, that's working. All right. And then if you have one of the kits from the library, or even if you don't, one thing that you can add to this that I'm not using here is decoration. So if you have one of the kits from the library, it has a little bit of construction paper in there. You can use a little bit of tape, use a little bit of construction paper, and you can give this thing some wings if you want to. You can turn it into an arrow. by giving it kind of a cone on the front there, make it into a little rocket, get creative. But for today, I just want to show you kind of how this is going to work. And so now that we have our balloon all blown up, we've got it tied off with our binder clip, I'm going to take my straw and I'm going to move it all the way back to the beginning here. And really, I could choose either side. And then I'm going to use some of my painter's tape. Tear off a little piece. And I'm going to take my balloon ever so gently. I'll move the straw here so you can see a little bit better. And I'm going to tape over my straw and onto the surface of the balloon. Hopefully that's going to stay for us. Move it back to the beginning. And now at this point, we're ready to race. All we have to do is let go or release the binder clip here, and it's going to happen really fast. You ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go! Race is over. So you can see that happened pretty quickly. A few things I want to point out. So again, we had this shape of balloon, which might give us a different result than a longer, thinner balloon, or even a more compact, rounder balloon. Our string here, you might notice, goes a little bit downward as it goes along. So one thing that I would do is try playing around with going up, creating kind of an upslope for yourself, going even further downwards than this course here goes. You can see my tape stuck to the straw there. So it's very easy to kind of set this back up. Just blow your balloon back up, clamp it off, move your straw back to the beginning, and you're off to the races again. Because it happens as fast as it does, if you want to time how quickly it is, you might need a second person to help you out. But certainly timing how quickly it gets from point A to point B, that's a fun little experiment. Just have fun with it. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Full Steam Ahead. As always, I hope you had fun and learned a little something along the way. See the link in the description for more information and subscribe to the Kent Library YouTube channel. This concludes our spring session of Full Steam Ahead. Check out all of our previous Full Steam Ahead videos for more science-y goodness. Happy learning.